if you had to kick out one person out of Team Avatar, who would it be? So we have the main Team Avatar consisting of 4 people, which will be Aang, Katara, Sokka, and Toph. Now, obviously, this is going to be a very tough decision, so we're going to take our time with this, and we're going to choose who we're going to save each round, and then one person will be left. So it's like a more positive way of doing it versus like we're going to choose one person, you're out. You know what I mean? It's more like
right.
We're going to prioritize
to build more
people.
suspense. So.
Yeah. Do you want to start us off, Osti? Who do you want to save first?
Okay. So the first person that I will save on Team Avatar, interestingly enough, I think that I'll put my priority in saving Sokka.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I choose to save Sokka because Sokka is the strategic brains of the operation, and I feel like that is the most important key to maintain, because regardless of the other pieces of the puzzle, as long as you have a strong strategic head, I think that you can make things happen. So I'll keep Sokka safe, number 1.
Okay.
What about you, Crystal? Who are you gonna keep?
First person that comes to mind to me is Katara, just because technically she's like a really good bender. Also, she's the emotional backbone of the group. I think a lot of times when everyone's kind of shaking apart, she'll be kind of the voice of reason, even though it can be to the chagrin of some of the members. It really is an important role to have, to just be someone to rely on emotionally in those times of need, because they're in high stress situations a lot, and I think I don't know, just her instincts make her a good person to go to in those times.
Yeah.
Okay. Popcorn. Christine.
All right. So I was kind of torn between 2 people, but I think much to maybe your guys' dismay, I would choose Toph to save first.
It's a very interesting
yeah.
first choices.
In my defense, I guess, I think Toph is a very strong-willed character, and she can come off in times like as a leader too. But I'm also thinking of the future, of kind of like what she becomes to the team, and I feel like she holds, like, she's very grounded, pun intended. And that's how I feel about her. I feel like, besides the fact that she's stubborn, I feel like maybe because I see similar characteristics between her and myself, that I'm like, fuck it, I'll save myself.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so I'll just popcorn Scott.
Okay. Yeah, Chuku's missing real quick.
Is everyone just choosing like versions of themselves?
I mean,
is that what we're doing?
I'm just very surprised.
I can see OC choosing Sokka. I really can. I was like,
I'm about to
surprised when he
choose-
chose him.
I'm about to choose Aang because, like, without the avatar, without the avatar, what are you gonna do? Like, you're not gonna be able to stop like Ozai, Sozin's comment. You won't even know about Sozin's comment.
You really are.
Like, come on, guys. It's the first obvious choice. Like, you have to save Aang. I feel like without Aang, everything would just go down in a very, very bad way. He's just the most essential to Team Avatar. He's the avatar of Team Avatar. It's like,
and you're right.
I didn't even think he was an option, but okay. He shouldn't even be an option.
well, we can talk more on this later. But go ahead, Chuku.
Oh, okay. I guess I have to break. Everyone picked a person, so I got to pick my person. It was a tough tie, but I'm definitely gonna have to go with Toph. There's no doubt about it. She's very useful. She basically created a whole new art of bending. I understand I understand the whole idea behind Aang and like Sokka and stuff, but I just feel like
Aang. Well, I don't. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything about Aang. I mean, I love Aang, so I'll keep that.
Okay,
but,
okay.
But point is, Toph.
We can talk more on the other characters, what you think of the other characters as they come. So
as they come, definitely. I'll definitely bring them up. So it's like we'll talk about it. But Toph is my number one.
I will go ahead. My number 2 save, I'm gonna go with Toph as well.
wow.
Because
okay.
yeah, so I got Sokka and I have Toph right now. Toph is, as far as I'm concerned, the strongest bender on Team Avatar. She is brilliant. And also, Sokka and Toph have some chemistry. They have,
Oh no.
they are able to, work together very well. In my
Yeah,
opinion.
I mean,
so that type
honest-
of chemistry. I hope you're not
honestly,
being a ship.
with those two, they can fund the entirety of an army by just scamming
that's true.
people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So yeah, I'll go for Toph as my second pick. It's my second save. So yeah, Crystal.
I feel like the next logical choice, I'm with Scott. I think you have to have Aang on Team Avatar because he is the Avatar. And if we're including the person that we saved before, I think that Katara and Aang go together very well. I think from the beginning of the show, we see that, they're kind of basis for the whole thing together. And I feel like they're also very proactive characters. I think just that their moral beliefs and just the actions that they want to do to make a better world and all that kind of make them the fire that kind of charges the whole group, because they're so passionate about the mission and what they're doing. So that's why I choose Aang, and he can bend every element, so there's that.
Yeah.
That's cool. They also have good children with each other, so
Yeah.
There's no denying that.
Yeah.
And
Oh, see,
Aang is very smart too. I think we forget that because he's a kid, but he's pretty smart and he figures a lot of things out just over the course of the series.
yeah. Oh, see, Aang is clearly the strongest bender because he has Avatar state. Just
I
saying.
was like, what?
Just saying.
Okay, outside of the Avatar state that Aang has a difficult time controlling, Toph is definitely the strongest natural bender on the team.
With the
There's,
disability, which is not even
And
a
with the
disability.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Fair enough, but I mean, we can argue that later. But go ahead,
sure.
Christine.
So my second choice to save is not Aang, but it's Katara. And if we're taking into account the other two, I would say opposites attract, and they've had plenty of episodes where they fight, but once they get over their fighting and are level-headed, I think that Toph and Katara can work really well together. And yeah, and besides that, Katara is all the reasons that Crystal stated. I agree with you on why you saved Katara. She's the emotional backbone. She's also very mature for her age, and she takes care of the group. And how Toph is, I feel like Katara would have that same motherly instinct to her too, and whatnot.
Okay. This is a very difficult decision. I mean, I feel like it's almost essential that you have to save Sokka because without Sokka, there's just so many things that are missing from the series.
yeah.
They would not have thought of the eclipse whatsoever. That would have actually been a great plan if Azula didn't figure it out. They might have even won there if Azula didn't figure it out. So that was all Sokka. And there were some episodes where, for instance, when Sokka had his master, Pian Dao, nobody knew what to do. They were just chilling, not doing anything, and they're waiting for Sokka to come back, and then he has all the plans basically. So it's almost like he's very essential, even though he's not a bender. So that's my second save. Chuku.
Second save. Okay. For my second save, I'm just gonna have to pick my man, the Avatar. It's just, again, you can't go out without Aang. The only reason why he wasn't my first pick, because I was debating between him to be the first, was the fact that the Avatar can be reincarnated. So that aspect of it is a little bit why. But other than that, yeah, essential, hopeful, I mean, not to mention Aang. I'm not gonna lie, like Aang, he's a pretty fun dude. Like you saw the part with the dance. Like if he wasn't the Avatar, he'd be like a cool dude to hang out with. So I'm definitely gonna have to save Aang for my second choice. So
Alrighty then. So on to the third one.
Okay,
and
this basically implies who you're.
yeah,
Who's
who
going.
you're saving, who you're getting rid of. So right now I have Sokka and I have Toph saved.
All right,
and
get rid of Aang.
That leaves Aang and Katara, and so for me, I'm gonna have to save Aang and say goodbye to Katara. Aang is the Avatar, obviously. He's able to get the Avatar state. He's able to bend all 4 elements, and you know,
I'm
it
actually
sucks to get rid of. Yeah,
I'm actually gonna jump in here just because we have the same bottom pick.
Okay.
Toph would be the next one I save because she's essential to Aang learning Earthbending. I feel.
okay.
But yeah, we can
And
both,
so-
I guess, see why we chose Katara as the bottom.
oh,
Right. I think because, I mean, it sucks because Katara is a very strong bender, and we see that throughout the show. But unfortunately, I feel like the slot of strongest bender is taken up by Toph, and strategy is Sokka. All around is Aang, and so Katara is kind of like the extra frosting that you can probably do without. So I'm unfortunately gonna have to get rid of Katara.
She's just a topping. She's just a topping.
You guys can jump in and disagree because I
Jeez.
disagree with that. I feel like she's like Crystal said, she's the emotional backbone of the group.
Yeah,
And-
Yeah.
you need to give her. That's a lot more important than you guys think. Like, I get it. Like, your guys, you don't think that stuff's important. But Katara, I mean, she really kicked things off if you think about it. And I think, honestly, if Sokka wasn't there, I think her and Aang together would have stepped up to the plate and been like a strategic duo. I think, just like I said, because they're so passionate about, like, I don't know, like, people's rights and like everyone in there. I mean, Katara was the one that wanted to free everyone at Boiling Rock, and she kind of put that together.
Katara wasn't at the Bowling Rock.
Sorry, whichever other prison it was.
Oh, you're talking about the
The
one with
Earthbender?
Haku.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, with Haku.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, conviction, I think, plus she was like also, you know, the daughter of like, you know, a strategist. I think that can rub off on her. I think she would have stepped up to the plate if she had to be a strategist.
Yeah, it's difficult because that's sort of my thought process as well. Is like if they didn't have Sokka, I'm pretty sure they would have to have like tried harder for the strategy as elements.
Yeah.
And I to me, Sokka's biggest, I feel like his biggest strong suit was like the levity that he added to the group for sure. But like I said, I think when it comes down to it, someone would step up to the plate to be that kind of strategist and planner.
So
And
who's
they're all
your
pretty
bottom,
smart.
Crystal?
My bottom, okay.
Or who do you save next, and who's your bottom?
Even though I just went on a rant about Sokka, I was gonna save him next. But that's because they're a tried and true team. The people that I saved, I think Toph did come in at the right time to teach Aang earthbending, but I do think he could have learned earthbending from someone else. I mean, I think they would have found someone.
Yeah.
I think that.
I mean, they're
she's-
the OG team, so they're the original Team Avatar, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe basic, but that's just how I feel. And I feel like Toph, I mean, she's great, but to me, she was kind of like the extra frosting in every sense to me.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Okay, so my next save would have to be Aang, and sad to say, Sokka's in my bottom. Much to, you know, everyone's chagrin and dismay.
No. It's
It's okay. It's called a different opinion.
totally fair.
I'm chagrined.
Yes. Yes.
He was my last save, so you're good.
Well, Sokka was your first pick, right, OC? So yeah.
Sokka was my favorite.
And of course, like you guys already said it, Aang is the Avatar, and you kind of need the Avatar to have an Avatar team. So without him, there wouldn't be anybody else. But I understand. Crystal kind of, explained it already. If there was no strategic planner, I feel like they would have stepped up to the plate, and they weren't gonna leave, the world to die and whatnot. They would have had to have found a solution. And I feel like, whether it be Katara or someone else that they brought onto the team, I feel like they could have had that type of responsibility or role for someone else as well. And in terms of like comedic aspect, I don't think that's as important. I mean, it is important, but I don't think it's as important when the world is, when you gotta save the world.
Yeah.
I get
No, that's
that.
fair. Yeah, so I'll explain further because putting Katara at the bottom, I think one of the main reasons I did that was because Toph, I felt like, was essential to Aang learning earthbending as well as helping with so many situations. I feel like if let's say in the eclipse, right, if they didn't have Toph, they would have never found the bunker, and also in Ba Sing Se, they would have never found Appa because of that. So without Toph's abilities, they're just they're screwed in so many different situations. And Bumi basically refused to teach Aang earthbending, so there was just like, he would have never gotten that. For waterbending, he went to the North Pole and actually got a master. So if Katara was never there, maybe they could have convinced someone to like stick with them, like a waterbender. That's the main reason, because I'm thinking about the bigger picture, or like the show's like goal, which is to stop Sozin's comet, or stop Ozai from using it to destroy basically everything. And I do feel like without Katara, they probably would have managed it. Probably not as well as the show, but yeah, that's my reasoning.
Okay, man, this was a hard one to pick the last two. If I didn't rewatch the show, this person would have been the bottom. But after rewatching the show, I had to give love to this person, and it's gonna have to be Sokka. Like Sokka, it's just, I know we look at Sokka as just this comic relief strategic guy, but Sokka's more than that. Like Sokka, I don't know.
Tell us.
The Sokkas were gonna be all right, kids. But Sokka, man, I don't know. His character development to me was one of the most interesting things, considering that he's also the non-bender of the group, and like how he just like, I mean, I know from the group standpoint, maybe you could get somebody like, the reason why Sokka is a strategic is because he doesn't have bending. That's just kind of the thing about it. That's what makes him the more strategic aspect of it. But just, I don't know, I loved his ways. Character development was like, he used to be kind of this like non-believer bender, misogynistic asshole, and now he becomes like this like lover of all benders and respectful, and just like, to me is one of the most, to be honest, I always say it's the most underrated character development in the series. But yeah, as far as the group goes, it's just, there's just a lot of things, like the drill, like how they would defeat the drill. Even the name Team Avatar came from Sokka. So it's just like, it's just, to me, he's just very essential. And yeah, he's a little bit comedic. Yeah, he's a little bit strategic. Maybe you can have those elements separated. But I feel like the way it's implemented from Sokka's point of view, it just wouldn't have worked from any other people. Like, I think the fact that it is Sokka doing it is what makes it more engaging and interesting. So I had to keep Sokka. And then it's tough because Katara really is an important unit. But just like what you said, Scott, like, I feel that in terms of waterbending, like, I feel like the impact Katara has is more of like the emotion heart in the show. And even though that's useful in its ways, in terms of defeating the goal, they could have just got another waterbender in that aspect. But it was tough because I really, like, I agree. Like, Katara has one of, a lot of the episodes Katara's in are one of my favorite episodes of the series. So I do appreciate her as a character, but when it comes to the group,
I mean, like, this is no shade to any of the characters. We love all of them. It's just, if you had to choose one, that has to go. Like even as much as it hurts, like you just have to choose one. So every character is essential. It's just our personal preference to who we would choose to go, I suppose. So don't get mad at us for choosing who we chose. It's personal preference.
These are all hypotheticals, you know?
Yeah. All right. Well,
everyone
has had their say, right? Any last words from anyone, or are we good?
On the bright side, if you don't have Katara, she's not complaining about her mom.
Oh my god.
On the dark side, you wouldn't even have the whole entire series.
Oh,
Logically
God.
speaking, Scott, you were like, they'll never reach their goal. They'll never reach their goal if they never find the Avatar. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she
Katara would
set
have
it
never
up.
went on that trip.
Let's be, I mean, let's think about this. Sokka's not gonna find Aang.
Aang would still
He
be
did-
frozen. Zuko
I
wasn't
know,
even close to finding him.
Sokka wanted to leave him in the ice.
Yeah.
That shows his instincts right there.
Sokka didn't know. Okay. It just,
Yeah.
Let's just say that all happened, and then they flew away without Katara. Okay. Like.
No way. If Katara didn't find Aang, like, there would only be the Fire Nation at this point. Like,
Okay.
See, as you can
Aang would have
see,
came back.
as you can see, viewers, we all disagree with each other. But
I was surprised. I was legit surprised because we did all have like very different orders
Yeah.
and very different priorities in our lists. So it was cool. I think this was a fun one.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
we all
it was
had
nice
different-
to see that.
Different reasonings too, because like for me, it's mainly like the main goal that I cared about, and who's essential to like accomplishing that main goal. But yes, you are right. Without Katara, they wouldn't have freed Aang.
I mean, it's like a business.
Main goal,
right?
Scott.
You need strategists, you need HR, you need management, right? And it's like, I feel like
Yeah,
Sorry,
you need the firepower.
It's
You
a
need the
boring
firepower.
analogy, but if like
Tough.
yeah, sure, you need creative ideas. I know it's a boring analogy, but you really need all those elements to make the dream work, because
Yeah.
if you don't have one, then it's like you could lose everybody, or you could lose sight of the goal, or I don't know. You know,
Yeah,
different
it-
things
it-
could happen if you don't have every like
Yeah, if you
element
take
in a
one,
well-rounded group.
if you take one of them away, I'm pretty sure they would not have accomplished the goal. But in terms
Yeah.
of likelihood, I do feel like the Katara sort of has to be the one.
Y'all,
they
they
can
would have
replace.
never found Aang ever.
Crystal has a valid point. They would have never found Aang.
I'm pretty sure the iceberg would have been picked up by somebody else.
No, it would be picked up by Zuko.
I don't think Zuko would have saw
Yeah,
it.
I'm telling
He
you.
wouldn't
what?
notice it.
They should make a storyline where it wasn't Katara that found him.
Team Avatar would have been Aang and Zuko, and they would have brought everything down. Just
No,
the
but
two of
Zuko
them.
wanted it.
Aang,
Zuko wanted to
Zuko
turn him
and
in.
Azula.
Yeah, I think.
He
I
still
think.
had Uncle Iroh.
True.
Could have been
Yeah.
the key to making that alternative Team Avatar work.
Changing
Brainwash.
his mindset.
The Avatar
Okay.
was found by the
Zuko
blue,
was a
red,
good kid, even
White
from the
Lotus. The White Lotus. We finally found the Avatar.
That's true.
That is true.
If the White Lotus found the Avatar, that would be
Yep.
so interesting.
It would be a shorter series.
Yeah, 100%.
Aang's like, why are you guys so old? Well, we were younger than you.
And then they trade Aang, and then boom, that's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
Done, man.
They have everything already.
They had
They're basically
everything.
like the better versions of Team
of Team
Avatar.
Avatar.
They would have been.
And technically, Aang is 100 and something years old.
Yeah, exactly.
He just has
So-
the mind of a
Of a kid.
12-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll make a fun video about that later or something.
Yes.
Okay, well, let us know in the comments what your pick would be, or actually give us an order and give us your reasons, like why you would choose that order, and eventually the one that has to go. All right, well, that's gonna be it. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.